Hey Jamie, this is the hashtag Stay Woke vlog, and actually this was probably my favorite assignment that we had for this class. Um, Although I really enjoyed most of the assignments, and it really opened my eyes to a lot of different things and how important it is to speak up on behalf of issues. But this assignment really got me to dig and see that there are things that are going on in the country and in the country that are being overshadowed by the fact that our president is a bigger celebrity than the office calls for. He can't do so much as fart without the press covering every aspect of the way it smells and the way it sounded. Um, so this project really got me to dig. I got some advice from Matt Rooney on how to go about doing this, and I Googled American news on Google, and then I actually just skipped the first 4 or 5 pages and went to the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th page of the Google search, which led me to a couple of different news sites. One was democracynow.org, and the other one was called Mother Jones. And actually, both of these not so popular not for profit news sites had the same story on them. And it discussed how the state of Arkansas, which is a state of the Union that still uses the death penalty, how the state of Arkansas has executed, in the month of April, they were set to execute 8 men. The state of Arkansas had not previously executed somebody since 2005, and then they also executed 2 guys in the same day during the month of April. And they had scheduled 8, but the court system in Arkansas had started defending these men, saying that they shouldn't be immediately rushed to be put to death. So I dug a little deeper, and it turns out that the drug used to kill people using in the death penalty, the one in Arkansas, most of the quantity was set to expire by May 1st. So that's why they had this immediate rush to kill all these prisoners. And the articles consistently were talking about how, one, the death penalty was consistently targeting people who had low IQs, came from minority groups, and were people that their trials were somehow unjustly carried out. So another article I read, the one from Democracy Now, talked about how the judge who was going against all these immediate 8 death penalty calls in 1 month after not having one in 12 years is actually now facing impeachment for standing up for the rights of these men to not just be immediately murdered. Several witnesses to one of the men who was to one of the men who faced the death penalty on the day that they killed 2 people in the same day, one of the witnesses said that instead of a very subtle, slow, they just fell asleep and died kind of death, which is what the death penalty is supposed to be, the man was foaming at the mouth and had extreme muscle gyrations and was almost breaking out of the chair. They said that despite the room being soundproof that he was being put to death in, you could hear him 2 rooms over from screaming due to the pain that was caused from this drug. And it makes me think, how does our news not cover this? That a state has 8 people scheduled to be put to death after a 12-year hiatus from the last time that they committed an execution murder due to the death penalty. They have 8 scheduled in 1 month, and you did not hear a single major news network talk about it. It's remarkable to me. I mean, I understand that these people, they committed crimes and they committed heinous acts, and I don't think anyone deserves to die. I think the death penalty should be outlawed completely. I think that, you can put somebody in corrective facility for years on end, and then there's the argument that we fund them and so forth. But I still don't think anybody deserves to die. I actually think an eternity in the prison system is more detrimental than just killing somebody. I think it's worse to live out your life in a terrible scenario in prison than it is to just outright die. At this point, most of these guys probably want to die. That's neither here nor there, but 8 scheduled executions in 1 month, the month of April, and not one single major news network covered it. At least not that I saw. And I searched their pages. I searched Fox News. I searched CNN. I searched MSNBC. I searched all these places, and I didn't see any article, any allusion to it. And now there's a judge who, just because he stood up for the rights of these men, that they shouldn't be rushed to death because of an expiration of a drug, is facing impeachment. I think that's remarkable. So anyway, I think this is something that should be looked into more, because who knows where they're going to go. Now that their drug has expired, are these men just going to be put on the shelf and wait for a long time to be murdered again? Or who knows where we're going to go from here. But it's important that we search for news in the not so traditional news senses, because these major news networks so easily sway our opinion and our views and give us the information that we just accept, and we don't dig deep enough to find stories that are worthy of being covered and worthy of being talked about. And I thought this was an important story to talk about. And the historical context of it is, I mean, the death penalty has been outlawed in the majority of the U.S. states, and it's really only these southern, I don't want to say racist, but these southern states that kind of may have still have influences from the Civil War, where they target minorities and all these things. It's only these states where the death penalty exists, and it seems like we just ignore the fact that it exists there, or ignore the fact that it's performed there. And I think the historical context is that this hasn't happened in 12 years, and now you have 8 in 1 month. That seems a little sketchy and a little questionable to me. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later.